Hello, I'm back. It's 12:55 in the morning, and I'm fired up even worse. I got a late text message. I'm 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 at a loss. I wrote such a long text message. It probably took me 45 minutes to write it, and now I don't know if I should send it. Should I even waste my breath to send it to someone who is just so disconnected from my life? I don't really want to break that person's heart to say what the truth is, my truth. So instead, I'm going to record it. Since she said, I don't just get my news from newspapers and books. I have a few sources I trust, like historian Heather Cox Richardson, which I don't even know who that is, and newscaster Rachel Maddow. Okay, great. I enjoy YouTube for entertainment, but I try to be careful of what info I'm getting and where it's from. My brother lives alone in a trailer in West Texas and gets all his info from the internet. He believes all the conspiracy theories. It's impossible to have a rational conversation with him anymore. He's become so indoctrinated by all the fringe element. Did that or did that not sound like her saying I'm being irrational when I'm sitting here in the cold running a heater but can't get it warm? My feet are cold and it's not even 40 degrees outside right now. Wow. There at the end, she says, I'm sure you have seen some sad situations since you are closer geographically to the area affected by the storm, and you had some personal experience with being in desperate financial straits. Feeling empathy for those affected so severely is a very good thing, but be careful of the conclusions you draw. With the new administration coming in January, we are sadly going to have a chance to see what corrupt government really is, and I worry for us all. I'm sorry, but all the government, and I don't give a shit what side you're on, is run by filthy rich corporations who treat healthcare like a business. And Lord forbid if you should get really sick, even if you have insurance, you're going to end up paying just to survive it. Or you might have to make some seriously hard choices between your health and curing your health or taking care of your family. I hate this bright light, by the way. You know, I'm just going to read what I put. I'm going to read part of what I said. It's harsh. But it's my true reality. And it's not just my true reality. I know it's a lot of people's reality. I don't trust anyone in the government. And I totally agree with that last statement about this incoming administration. I am afraid, in fact, I worry that they will start locking homeless people up. That is my greatest fear, actually. I have been locked up enough in my life, and frankly, I'm too old for it. So yeah, I agree. It's a very scary time, and it's only going to get worse, I'm afraid. I am very rational and living in a very Republican state and very aware of the discord in this country. It worries me very much, but I cannot allow that fear to override my common sense. Just keep working hard and pray that maybe I will one day make enough in wages and actually get some income tax back at some point in the future. I fucking hate Trump too, but he doesn't pay taxes, and maybe he will at least give us single people a break on that. That is about the only hope I have to hold on to at this point. This country has gone to hell in a handbasket at this point, and little people like myself, and my family for that matter, stand to pay the biggest price. So don't worry about me. I am very rational and see the real side of life because I am living it every day. While I do appreciate your concern for my well-being, I am just out here living a struggle that, unfortunately, Mom, I do love you, but you would never understand what I am living through or have lived through. And in fact, my whole life has been tough. There is so much you don't know and so much about my current situation that you also don't know. I was raised in a hardcore, cruel, suck it up kind of a way, or it will get you much, much worse. Harsh truth is, apparently God had a plan that I still ain't totally figured out yet. Is it sharing my truth? Is it sharing my truth? On the unreliable YouTube? Yet, I am supposed to become a very strong person with many random survival skills that I was supposed to learn. I don't see how my reality is a conspiracy theory or not reality at all. Or the thousands upon thousands of others in this country who are enduring the cold right now just to barely scrape by, working. The working poor ain't the only one. I ain't the only one. And I certainly don't feel that makes me irrational, to say the least. Do you realize how many elderly are homeless or living in vehicles such as I am right this very minute? Because they have been priced out of housing. There are so many. And I just pray I have enough strength and endurance as well as decent health to even find suitable housing before I retire. Because just like all those seniors out there struggling just to live and get medication and to eat right now, because all they have is Social Security, well, that's going to be me in 10 years. If Social Security is even still viable by then, not everyone has had the opportunities that you have had to build a good retirement fund. Most are just living paycheck to paycheck and don't have anything left over to save for retirement. So yes, I agree, this next administration is very scary, and I am definitely worried. For not only myself, but for all my children and my grandchild. We were screwed when they stacked the Supreme Court flat out. And you are correct. We should all be very worried. All I can do is keep working and living as cheap as possible to try and get some land to put some kind of a suitable housing on it before I can't. So maybe, just maybe, I will have a soft, warm place to lay my head, such as yourself, when it's my time to leave this earth. I would love to say that maybe then I can rest before I die. I don't think that will be the case. They want us to work straight to our graves. And they do. It's by design, it seems. Not a conspiracy theory whatsoever, and not on the fringe of anything. Just hardcore truth that I and many, many people are living every day. It's bleak, and it's dark, and it's true. It's hardcore facts that are the underbelly of this country that gets ignored, while we, the small people, doing service type work for very little money, look down upon and paying most of the taxes for the rich bucks running this country to send everywhere except right here where it should be helping the unhoused, the unfed, struggling families that see no end in sight. Build some affordable housing that ain't stacked on top of each other in the dirtiest corners of the cities. I hate to be all doom and gloom, but someone needs to say it. My lousy job actually pays better than most around here. And actually, I still can't get ahead, and I am so grateful my kids are grown. I know what my grocery bill is just for myself, and I couldn't imagine trying to feed a family and pay rent. Does all this make me irrational? I think not. It's the sad fact out here. It's very real. I am done ranting now, and I got no apologies for speaking my truth, because I am living it. I love you, Mom, but you need to wake up and stop making excuses for a lousy government that is not for the people, only for the filthy rich corporations, the filthy rich politicians, and the government workers hired to run it for them. Ain't for the real people out here doing real labor. I'm just saying, even our healthcare is a lousy business. Lord forbid if you got sick. Even with insurance, you still have to make some really hard choices. Or be in serious debt over it just to survive it. Whatever that illness may be. This is the frank and sad truth of this country. And I frankly wish I could go live in some other country, to be honest. It's a seriously sad, embarrassing fact to even say that I am an American. You wonder why veterans commit suicide after what they see and are forced to do? It doesn't surprise me in the least. Just absolutely shameful. God is going to do something very harsh to correct it all. It worries me what that may be, what that may entail. I didn't send it. Instead, I decided to get on here and record it. Because this is the disconnection that I was talking about earlier. She worked for the government her whole life. She sits on a very nice retirement. The majority of Americans in this world are living paycheck to paycheck. We can't afford to save anything. It doesn't matter what side of the government or what side, whether it's a Democrat or a Republican, it doesn't matter what side you're on. Because there's poor working people on both frickin' sides. It's time to unite on this. The wages have got to be higher. The housing cost has got to be lower. That disconnect between the wealthier people in this world and us little folks down here need to wake up. I'm awake and I'm very rational. And I guess it was supposed to become, my opinion needed to be said. Now, mind you, if you've watched any of my other videos, when I said I was adopted out as a child, I was sacrificed so she could go to college. She thought I was going to a good family. I went to a single mother who raised me on welfare. Just ask me how she got clothes for me. How about stealing from the Salvation Army box? She would literally push me in the box. And when a car was coming, she'd say, "Shh, be quiet. Wait till they go by." In the middle of the night. While we're stealing clothes out of the Salvation Army box. So that I have clothes for school. That's just one story. Of many. She's so disconnected. Especially from me. So again, I stand by what I said earlier. If you're a wealthy person in this world, pick a family to help. Whether that's giving them a job with a living wage, or helping a kid go to college, paying for it. Whatever. Do some good deeds. Because if you don't, God's going to do something really rash. And that worries me. Kind of like that big sheet of ice that's floating in the Atlantic right now. It's 40 miles long and 1,500 feet deep. And it has broke off and is now floating in the Atlantic Ocean. 40 miles long. Greed is killing us. It's killing this country. I wish I had some solutions. I've got lots of ideas, but I'm just one person, and I just wanted to reiterate that disconnection is serious. So maybe, yes, we should use this platform for hope, strength, praise. I agree. But maybe also we should talk about some unity. How do we get these rich corporations to hear us, to understand? What is it going to take? It's going to take us standing together for one. Something radical needs to happen, I guess. I'm not going to send the text message. There's no need to break a 76-year-old woman's heart. But I am going to put this video out there. Since she only uses YouTube for entertainment, I'm sure I will never come across her feed. But I will come across the feed of the tribe that I'm supposed to be talking to. I hope I didn't bore people too much. I hope that this explains a little bit of why I can get so fired up about certain things. And some just don't understand, and they never will. So I just don't waste my breath anymore. Instead, I'm going to share it on here. Maybe my testimony is exactly what I'm supposed to be sharing. And that does not make me irrational. That does not make me a conspiracy theorist. It makes me a truth teller. Because I'm living it. Are you? Peace out.